I'm here with Rob with Motohansa Tools. Rob, what do you got?
Okay, we've got a unique kit here for all BMWs. This is one kit, covers all model BMWs, 1200s, F800s, F650s, 1200 water-cooled, 1200 hex head, covers the whole range. We've specifically designed the kit. It's a standalone kit. You just roll it up like that, drop it into your pannier, away you go. It's got everything you need for out on the road to do all your adjustments, change wheels, any minor mechanical adjustments you need on the road. This kit's got everything in there.
Excellent. So let's go through just some of the tools that are in it.
Sure. Okay. We start off with this little tool. Everyone asks, what does it do? They can't figure out what it does.
I know what that is.
It's a combo tool, so it's a front axle tool.
Yep.
And a stick coil puller that goes for the coil on top of the spark plug.
Very cool.
So it's lightweight. Okay, we have our bit driver. Again, most of the tools in here have been specifically sourced or designed for this kit to be light yet strong. This is that example of that. It's aluminium handle, or aluminum as you guys call it. Holds the bits in the end, magnetic so they don't fall out, but it's also convertible. So you can convert it to a T-bar.
That's very nice.
Again, have a feel of it, the quality.
Yeah, I like that tool.
And again, you can't go and buy that from anywhere else.
That's for sure.
The ratchet looks like a normal, 3/8 drive ratchet, except extendable handle, right? So if you want to undo the rear wheel on a BMW, the wheel lug nuts, you get a bit of extra torque. Also, it has a locking pin. So push the locking pin in, it locks the ratchet mechanism, so it doesn't matter how hard you lean on that, you're not going to damage the ratchet.
So it's a breaker bar then?
Yeah, then it's a breaker bar, that's exactly right. Convertible from a ratchet to a breaker bar. Then we have our spanners, or wrenches as you guys call them.
Yep.
Very light, chrome vanadium.
Nice, I see it's got the
spline drive.
Spline drive, yeah. So
yep.
It kind of is more of a universal design.
Spline drive, it's universal, right? It'll fit 13 mil, half inch, Torx, Star, whatever that one is on the end, and it won't round them off. The way it's designed, it drives on the flat, not on the point, so you'll never round the fastener off. And if you've got a bolt that is slightly rounded off, this will grab onto it.
That's nice, very nice. So it looks like you get a lot of different bits with it.
You get a complete range of bits, all the Torx bits, hex and hex really these days, BMW doesn't have hex, but most of your accessories
Some
you
of
buy...
the older bikes do still have hex.
But most of your accessories still have hex.
Yes, they do.
So you need both, really.
Yeah.
And this kit, being designed for all the range of bikes, has two different size plug sockets because BMWs over the years have changed their plug sizes, and they're thin wall sockets. You can't go buy them just at the corner store. So we've added both of those in there, so this one kit does all.
Yeah, it's very, very well laid out. For
24 mil socket for F800, rear wheel nut on F800s. Again, that's why it's in there. Our locking extension, so your plug socket goes on there, can't come off.
Nice. Unless
you pull the collar back, so it can't fall down the hole.
Yeah, no, that is a wonderful thing.
And there you go. And a few little cable ties there just to add in.
Excellent.
And that's about it, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. We were happy to see you too. All right, now I'm here with Zool.
Hi there, Kirk. How are you doing?
Good. Hey, just wanted to ask you about some of these products that you got. I see the hex tool. I know it's a new product. What is it? What does it do? Can you give me a little rundown on it?
Cool. Kirk, what we've got here is we've got the Hex ezCAN. Okay, so the ezCAN is an accessory manager. It allows you to easily add and configure accessories to your bike. We focus on lights, air horns. You can do brake lights onto it, and you can do additional accessories like phone chargers and things like that, GPSs that you want to run. So what we do is the little device connects directly to the battery. and then it connects to the bike's CAN bus. Okay, so you latch onto the CAN bus. That allows you to enable us to see when you're using the different switch positions on your bike. You don't have to run any extra switches or any extra relays or anything on the bike, and so you then merely connect your light, air horn or brake light to the 4 outputs that we provide. The 4 outputs is on the device. We also supply stub connectors to make your install easy. So what you do is you would wire your lights onto the stub connectors, and they would just clip into the 4 channels that we have.
So the CAN bus system is kind of it reads the signals that are coming through that to determine what is being pressed, correct?
So the CAN bus is a network that's on the motorcycle where all the messages are being sent on the bike. They've implemented this quite a number of years ago, and for various reasons it's a very quick communication system on the bikes, and it saves a lot of wire. As opposed to having a wire running to the engine controller, from the engine controller to the temperature sensor, and another one for the speed signal and all that, and so all this is now being done on this network cable that's running over the bike. Now with all these messages that's passing on the bike, like for instance when you're honking the horn, that's a message that gets sent to a controller. That controller sees that you're actuating the button, and it then drives the output to the horn. So what we are doing is we can see when you're actuating the button by picking up that message that comes past, and then we can see the way that it's configured. Oh, hang on a minute, I've got an air horn that I now need to drive, and that's what we do. If you were to hit the brakes and I've got an additional set of brake lights configured to this unit here, we then know, okay, the brakes are being actuated. This is the way that I now need to drive these accessories on this side. Wow. Okay, so let me quickly give you a quick demo of this, and then you can have a look at it.
Yeah,
so I'm just going to step around the side here quickly.
Yeah.
I'm just going to demo the brakes for this on this side, and so what we've set up here is we've just set up these 2 strip lights quickly, and I've configured it so that when you apply the brakes, they would flash a couple of times and then go on solid. So that's like what we call the California legal flashing. Okay. So as we apply the brakes, it'll flash a couple of times and then go solid, and that is controlled by this device here. If you live in a state where it's not legal to have that, it's literally a click of a button and it'll just act as a normal brake light. So you don't have to have that all the time. You can also configure it to flash all the time, or in the California legal flashing, or then just as a normal brake light. And so we also have a rapid deceleration function in it. So if you were to downshift or just roll off and there's a rapid deceleration, then it's an emergency braking that'll happen, and that'll flash the lights as well until you come down to a predetermined speed. So then what we also do is, like I mentioned to you earlier, we're running an air horn off here. This is about a 20 amp air horn. There's no additional relays being wired into the system. We run it off this little unit here. So the air horn is then actuated. The minute that you hit the button there, it'll actuate the air horn, and it'll drive it for as long as you hold the button down.
It sounds truly
Cool.
fascinating.
Yeah.
So how is it configured?
Okay, the configuration is done via USB to the back and the Windows and Mac software that we run on it. So you've got a basic install and you've got a default setup as it comes, and then when you want to configure things, you literally do it by changing the software settings on that screen there. So we try and make it as visually easily to understand, and we've got settings. The first section, you're looking at the auxiliary lights. On the auxiliary lights, this motorcycle has got the ability to detect when it's day and night. So we've broken that up into 2 sections. You've got day and night for both low beam and day and night for both high beam. So you can select what the lights do when it's day on low beam as well as high beam, or you can change it for when it's night, both low beam and high beam, and so. Then to the side you also see there's a couple of blue buttons. Those blue buttons let you control how the lights react when you do certain things. For instance, I'm going to hit the horn here, and the way it's set up now is that when you hit the horn, the lights will strobe when the horn is active, and this will create quite a visual effect for when you're traveling on the road. Somebody may be veering into your lane, you honk the horn, and it'll add the added flash. So I'm just going to stand in front of the light here so that you can pick up that So as long as you're keeping that, and you will be noticed when that is happening. So another one of the nifty features that we have here is the inversing on the when the hazards or the flashers are active. So it'll do the flashers and the auxiliary lights as an additional flasher for you.
Nice.
So yeah, that'll actually create some more visibility for you there.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really a way to easily add additional accessories, and you get the ability to configure them in the way that you like.
Well, this is excellent.
Yeah.
What a great product.
Cool.
It's awesome. I do own one of those, the GS tool.
I'm glad.
I use the hell out of it. So.
And we've had some good feedback from people where it's like the toolkit consists of a GS911, some wrenches, and a tire repair kit.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That's the way we want it, eh?
All right.
Good stuff. Kirk,
Well,
thank you very
so much,
Yeah,
man.
enjoy the rest of this.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, this one's definitely.
I'm here with David from Atlas Throttle Lock. We did a review on one of his products in one of our other videos, but he's come out with a second generation, and we're going to hear about it.
Yeah, so the first generation, I have one here. It's a single button use. We found that it was kind of hard for people who have arthritis in their hands or some injuries to their hands in the past. And so we came out with a whole new mechanism inside the second generation Atlas. And it's actually pretty sweet. We have two versions of it. There's the bottom kit and then the top kit. So the bottom kit is going to be used for the majority of motorcycles out there. And the top kit is going to be used for bikes that have like a right-hand turn signal on your throttle housing. So you have to be able to reach it with your thumb. It works. It's really, really smooth. So if you have any experience with the first gen, that's right around 22 pounds of pressure that you need to push in to engage. This one's at 7 pounds, so it's a third of the pressure. Wow. And then we incorporated a disengage button. So if you're not familiar with throttle lock, these things function with friction and pressure. So say you're cruising at 70 miles an hour. You want to turn on your throttle lock. All you do with the Atlas is you just push one button with your thumb. You're not trying to tighten anything, tension anything, move anything with a non-dominant finger. So now you're cruising, you can accelerate, you can decelerate to a complete stop with it fully engaged. But typically, how you turn it off is you just push this button down here and it's instantly off. So it's very intuitive. You're never having to look at it or reach over and use your other hand to engage it. And that was what we were after. We wanted safety and convenience and to be using a dominant finger. And one of the other good things about this design is that it's not year, make, model specific. So if you have this on a BMW, you then buy a KTM, or you go and buy a Harley Davidson, you can literally move this from bike to bike. And I think a lot of people who have throttle locks, they've almost inherited it by purchasing a motorcycle that already has it on there. And we've also found that the majority of people who do buy these throttle locks from us already have throttle locks. So they're still looking for a real good solution, and this is the closest thing to a cruise control out of convenience that you can find in the market.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that's awesome to see that you're still innovating and creating new products. That's great.
Yeah, this is actually the launch for the second gen unit. We did a launch for the first gen about 2.5 years ago, and we've sold way more than we expected, and awesome. So we got a lot of great feedback from thousands of riders, and so that's what we took all that information and put it into this second gen.
Cool. And where's your beautiful wife?
My beautiful wife, Heidi, she just had our second kid about 5 weeks ago.
Awesome.
So her and my two daughters are at home just hanging out and fulfilling orders online and, just
Great.
chilling.
Oh, and what is the price of these?
So these ones are $135, and everything is sourced and manufactured in the U.S. out of a company that services Boeing. So it's really precision laser cutting, and it's made out of hardened stainless steel, so nothing's going to rust or corrode on you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing us this stuff.
Yeah, thanks for